Wuthering Heights is often described as one of the greatest love stories ever written. But that description has always made me uneasy because what Emily Bronte gives us isn't romance, it's obsession. And Tarot gives us a very clear language to understand why this story still haunts us and why it was never meant to be aspirational. So, in this series, Tarot isn't used to predict outcomes, it is used to read emotional structures and how attachments are formed, and what happens when love is confused with identity. Wuthering Heights is not a lover's story at all, it is a devil's story. The devil in Tarot represents compulsion, attachment without choice, desire that overrides agency, bonding that becomes identity. Heathcliff and Catherine don't love each other, they merge. Catherine doesn't say, I love Heathcliff. She says, I am Heathcliff. And in Tarot, that translates as, this isn't intimacy, this is enmeshment. The emotional landscape of Wuthering Heights lives in the moon. The moon governs the unconscious, so it gives you instinct, fear, projection. This story happens before emotional regulation, before reflection, and before containment. Nothing is named. Nothing is processed, everything is felt. The moon without temperance becomes chaos. People often assume Wuthering Heights is a tragic version of The Lovers, but this is honestly The Lovers in shadow. The Lovers is about choice and alignment. In shadow, it's about attachment without clarity, bonding without consent. Catherine chooses status, Heathcliff chooses vengeance. Neither chooses love. Desire isn't guided by values, it's guided by injury. There is one card that never appears in Wuthering Heights, and that is Temperance. Temperance represents emotional regulation and integration, the ability to hold intensity without destruction. Without temperance, passion doesn't deepen, it corrodes. So why does Wuthering Heights still feel so powerful? Because it gives language to unprocessed desires, to attachment that feels bigger than reason, to terror of losing the self. This isn't a fantasy of love, it's a fantasy of being undone. Modern readers often romanticize Heathcliff and Catherine. Actually, so did the readers in the past. The only time I came across somebody saying that I don't understand why Wuthering Heights is called a love story is if you've read Daddy Long Legs, Judy Abbott actually says that. She's like, I don't understand why it's called a love story. It should be a hate story. I don't think they loved each other. So coming back to the statement I just made, that readers often romanticize Heathcliff and Catherine. And that is because intensity still masquerades as depth. Because pain still gets mistaken for passion. The devil isn't romantic, it's intrusive. It's instructive. It shows us what happens when love is asked to heal wounds it didn't create. The novel isn't celebrating obsession, it's documenting it. Emily Bronte isn't saying, love like this. She's saying, look at the cost. Love without selfhood isn't transcendent, it's annihilating. Wuthering Heights belongs in the lineage of Tristan and Isolde. And if you're not familiar with Tristan and Isolde, it's a medieval legend. And it kind of was the roadmap for tragic romance. And we will discuss this in one of my future videos. So coming back to Wuthering Heights, it belongs in that same romantic tragedy. It talks about love as fate, love as curse, love as something that consumes the self. Tarot reminds us that romance didn't begin as safety, but it doesn't have to stay that way. So I know with all the, the remake of Wuthering Heights and people are like, oh my God, it's such a great story and all of that. I just had to explore Wuthering Heights through the lens of Tarot because I kind of agree with Judy Abbott. This isn't a love story. She rightly says it's a hate story. It isn't a love story. What are your thoughts? Do you think we should still be remaking Wuthering Heights, especially, in modern times where we very clearly know that Kathy and Heathcliff weren't right for each other at all? So what are your thoughts? Tell me. Until next time, bye.